For fuck's sake. Of course my opera crashes.
Level 1, no cosmic sensitivity. At the base of Marvel's hierarchy.
Dude. Ah! Makes sense. Wait, what? Why? It doesn't tell me why, it just is. Huh? Okay, my opera just cooked itself. Okay, did I say opera? I meant memory. God damn it.
Uh-oh, yeah.
Oh, stylish monkey. This is such a good layout. This is the best layout ever. I already have everything high elixir, so this is not really good, but it's whatever. They get Emily Willis for a follow. I know that that is a bot, but okay, whatever. I could just I can just tell. Because they just follow without like having their name at all. I hope you're doing well, and thank you. Ah, for fuck's sake. Okay, no distractions anymore. Nice. Placing a pick over here, and I won. Jeez. Six. Oh, there we go. Wait, isn't the witch, like, doesn't she have... Yeah, I just need one more and then... But I'm not gonna do it to the witch. I want to do it to a furnace. I want to give either the furnace or I want to give Larry the Evo thing. Probably Larry, so I'm already gonna give him two. Yeah, I'm not gonna read any more from Emily. Why is there a bunny and a anime girl on my screen? Those are the distractions, so you don't see my shit gameplay. So you just keep looking at the two images and you're like, huh. I don't have anything. At the start it doesn't give me jack shit. It's like, okay, now I have to defend now. That's the thing. I have to defend until 2x elixir. And then after that I have to pressure and also attack fully. Nice. Fuck. Whatever. As for start, I can already release the Gob Giant. Oh shit. Oh. Okay. Alright, I'm back. Distraction, 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 distraction. Keep distracting, keep distracting. I missed that, but that's okay. We just have to keep defending. We just have 13 seconds. Okay, good distraction, good distraction. GG's. Ha! One more. No, one more. One more. And my cat is in my lap. Easy. There be images of played Roblox rap battles and that shit was unbelievably ass. It was so bad I could win by correcting their grammar. Yeah, that's basically how it is. Momo. Arvian is a friendly friendly family YouTuber and he just swear 3 times. I'm not a family friendly YouTuber. I swear a lot. I kind of want to make my shit be 18 plus, but there's no reason for it to be 18 plus, except for swearing, and that's all. Momo, no, wait, where do you wanna run? Huh? Where do you run? Okay, fine. I. You can run, but I don't open door. I have to take a picture of my cat because she's super cute at sitting at my door. Okay. If it would be a family-friendly streamer, my ass would have been sent to the Shadow Realms. True. Your ass is already almost is being sent to the Shadow Realms, so you have to be extra careful, buddy. Alright, let's keep playing. Let's keep playing and let's keep winning. All I have to do is I just have to defend at before 2x. Ah, there's a witch. Fucking hate the witch. Hello, champ. Who's in Paris? I have no idea. You tell me. Nice. They'll see. They'll see. Looks like my miniest craft made it into your Twitch chat. Is this Clash Royale or Brawl Stars? Honestly, I have no idea. Shit. Ah, this is bad. This is bad. This is bad. This is bad. Ah, too close. I didn't mean to place it too this close. Ah, scheiße. I misplaced it. Nice. Oh, what the fuck is that? I'm gonna do 1v1. Nah, I'm not that good at the game. Still struggling with this deck, but I don't see any other deck. Because one other card I want to play with is Lumberjack, but I don't have Lumberjack. And if I would have Lumberjack, my deck would be way different. Because like my ideal deck is... So this is kind of my ideal deck. We're gonna have Evo, Dargob, an Evo Furnace, Larry, probably Tesla, also Snowball, and then a tank. I would probably, realistically for a tank, probably also I would have a P.E.K.K.A or something. Maybe Wall Breakers, and just for funsies I would also add Igor. I'm also new, 3.5k trophy, so I'm new too. I've been playing for like 2 months only. This is so stupid, bro. Riley said that the skill gap between number 1 and top 500 player is bigger than the skill gap between top 500 and someone who has never played the game. Okay, that's bullshit. Alright, let's play a little bit of tactics. Probably if I want to like play with goblins, I have to change my tower. And also this spear goblin is completely ass. There we go. This is what I actually wanted. Executioner, because we're not gonna keep him. We're not gonna keep Executioner. We're just maybe we can place him. Alright, then let's go for a fun play. Just don't know. That's like 30 words. Just don't know Clash Royale. Is it a fun game? Depends. What the fuck? He already has 2-starred fucking MK? Are you shitting me? Yeah, I lost. Like, no doubt that fucking lost. Like, look, these motherfuckers just finished their thing. Now they have to watch us. Like, dude. Oh, that's good. Okay. We're gonna sell this. Boom. Okay, for now, we're gonna do this placement. Could get another Juggernaut. Ah, fuck. Then it's the Skeleton King. Okay. Could get another Juggernaut, then we need another thing right here, and we can get another range. That's what we can do. Yeah, but my guys don't deal a lot of damage. That is the big problem that I have, which is super easy for me to lose now. Because this is not the usual thing that I go for. That's the thing. I usually don't go for this that I'm going for right now. Right, there we go. We're gonna sell these. We're gonna keep him. Sadly, we can't level him up, so let's do this. For now, I don't have enough elixir to level up anyone, so we're gonna keep it like this, and then we're gonna level up this one. Hopefully we survive. By the looks of it, we won't, but let's hope we do. Don't ignore me. I'm not ignoring you. I read your messages. Nice, Dark Goblin. Nice. Alright, good. We keep that. Oh, already 3-star. Nice. Get this for a backup. For now, yeah. We need another. We need another range. That's what we need, but we can't have. There's this one, but I don't think Archer. She's really that good. Alright, we're gonna have him right now, just for extra stun. Alright, let's hope we win this one. I swear this guy plays Geometry Dash, but I can't prove it. That is a crazy conspiracy theory you got. Let's play, I gotta learn from you. What do you mean you gotta learn from me? I am ass at this game, dude. Right now, I don't care about tactics, I'm just playing for, like, whatever the hell. Like, whatever is coming on my mind, I play with it and hope it rolls. Like, this what I'm doing is not what I usually go for. This is completely ass what I'm going for. What I go for is usually way more different. Okay, let's have her. Alright, fine, let's level her up. We're not getting anything good right now, sadly. Alright, we're not gonna win with her, because Archer is not really a good card. So, but I really like this thing. The heals 35%, but only appeals to these two. But it's really good for Dark Goblin. I really want Dark Goblin to have that thing, and plus also the Ranger just more hit speed per attack, and it stocks up to 25, which is really good for Dark Goblin. Since Dark Goblin is the one range that deals like a lot of damage, and this thing can stack up to 25, which is really good for Dark Goblin. Like, look at this. I'm just clearing through her health. Fuck. Bench is full, that's the problem. Okay, we're gonna sell Dark Goblin because we don't need him. Okay, there we go. That is good. Boom, we don't get anything, and we're gonna sell him. Sadly, we don't have any more space, and we're gonna have this. And then we have to somehow fully win this guy, but he has Mega Knight at level 3, so we're gonna lose this, but we're still gonna be second place. Oh, let's change these positions so he keeps stunning everyone. That's a better plan. He faces MK and he keeps stunning everyone. He keeps stunning the one that deals the damage at the back, which is really good. And it also deals extra damage from the backside. But now, since he is gone and also another one is gone. Okay, no, never mind. This is a good potential. Okay, we won this. Yeah, we won. I don't care that he's full health. I think we won. If we just keep doing this, and if I keep placing this one correctly as well, we're gonna win this easily. Alright, almost everything is already 3-star. That is very good, I would say so myself. Oh, we can... Ooh, okay, let's win. If I win this one, we can get another one, and we're gonna have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 3-stars. He, on the other hand, he only has 1, 2, 3 stars. 3 3-stars. But Barbarian is not that good, and also Spear Goblin is also not very good. I'm just gonna keep stunning P.E.K.K.A, and that's a good thing, because P.E.K.K.A deals the most damage for everyone here. Alright, P.E.K.K.A is gone. He's gonna stun Barbarian, which is really good. But he's gone now, but that doesn't matter, because we're already clear through basically his whole arsenal, and we just have... Yeah, this is an easy win. We only need Archer to be just level 3, and we basically have everything maxed out. By the way, you're gonna beat NNN? Of course I am. I'm already 1 day in, going strong. So I can suspect second day is also gonna be good. Rose or red, violets or... Roses and red violets are blue deer. Arvion won't fuck you. Huh? I'm confused. Oh, he has everything also almost 3-star. So now it's just a battle on who has better 3-stars. Or more like who has better of these combos. So if I win, I win. If he wins, he wins. And so far, I won. Yeah, that's GG's. The problem that he has Dark Goblin, but he doesn't have this thing, which allows Dark Goblin to actually have his damage. Archer in itself, she's a bad card, but if you have Dark Goblin, then they have the effect which makes Archer not that useless. But what she helps Dark Goblin be very, very useful. Okay, we already have Archer, which is good start. Okay, we got Dark Goblin, so we immediately won. We are gonna have them 2-starred. Obviously, replace them here, and we already have the Skeleton King. So we're having a good start right now. We're obviously gonna lose this first one, because there's absolutely no way how these two ranged can... Never mind, I think we're gonna win this first one as well. I wasn't supposed to win this. Alright, whatever. Skeleton King going in front. We have nothing good in the backside right now. We don't need her, because even though... wait, what is this? I mean, this is good as well, but we're gonna have Valkyrie later on, so this is gonna be very good. We're gonna have to max out Juggernaut again, and we're gonna have Valkyrie, which is gonna give our... Well, it's only gonna give her and Valkyrie the effect that we want. Other than that... It's not... Yeah, we're gonna lose this one right now. Because unless somehow... Wait. No way. No way! Dart Gob for the clutch, bro. Dart Gob for the clutch. Holy shit. And yeah, we just easily won. Holy shit. We already have such a good start. We're going up against this guy who has dual Skeleton Kings, which I don't know what his game plan is. He doesn't have any of the perks active right now. I already have 3 of them. This guy. I already have 3 perks active. I don't know what this guy is doing. He has no perks active. I think he mistakes that if he places 2 troops, it's gonna have the same... It's gonna give him the effect. But no. You need to have 2 troops with the same perks. Other than that, it's just not gonna work. And we just won easily again. Boom, we're gonna have this, but it is somewhat okay-ish. Okay, we're gonna have the knight right here. We're gonna buy this goblin machine right now. So far, it's looking good. It's exactly what I want. Now we need the Valkyrie, and then the set is done, and I'll have to start leveling them up. Oh, this is gonna be sweep. Wait, never mind. This is gonna be sweep. It's fun doing the trolley problem, but I overthink everything. It took me like 3 hours to do. He could also have no troops, so he put the giant skeleton just so he has the 4th troop. That's also true, but like at that point, if he has enough elixir to have 2 skeleton troops, especially one that's like fucking 2-starred, I think he has enough to, like, you know, have another guy that has the same perk. We don't need him. Level that up. Sadly, we don't have anything we want. Okay, we're gonna level up the archer, and we're gonna place this robot right here. We're still not getting Valkyrie, but that's completely fine, because we just have this guy left who is not good. Because, I mean, hopefully we win this. I probably should have replaced these sides. Oh. I see. Yeah, okay, we lost. Okay, we got Valkyrie, that is good. Machine, no machine, but we got Valkyrie. This is exactly what we wanted. We're gonna replace these 2. Now we have to start leveling them up somehow. So we have to keep re-rolling, but we're not getting any level ups. Okay, we lost this. Because there's no way we're gonna win this. Okay, he's gonna fly them back, so let's place these in the backside. So he doesn't immediately go for the archers. But I think he still will. Yeah. It's just the knight going in front right now. Jesus Christ. What the fuck did I just witness? The fucking, what was it called? Golden Knight. I accidentally mistaking him for the Mega Knight. The Golden Knight just like and kills me. Play with this deck. It's a reactive deck and works almost against anything. Witch, Barb Barrel, Elite Barb, Dark Prince, Ice Spirit, Goblin Hut, Poison, Goblin Gang. Play defensively. What do you think about George Floyd? Really fucked up situation, and I hope, I don't know what has happened after that, but I hope the police officer has been arrested. Himself, or at least fired. Be right back. What the fuck is that? Oh, it's this thing. Okay. You were live? Yeah, I even said be right back quickly. I probably was too quiet. Anyways, I'll play one more game of tactics, then I have to be right back again because I gotta walk my dog. And then I'm gonna come back. Okay. So far, this is not looking pretty good. And this guy really has the undead, the undead effect. And it's not giving me the stuff I want right now as well, so I can't buy the shit I need. CRL day 2 is life tramp. I'm ahead of it, but hey man, take care. I'll check on you. Alright. What the fuck? This guy's in a wheelchair on this thing. Dude, what are these rolls? Okay, we got the goblin machine. Hello, tired. Bad news. What are the bad news? Okay, he has clan, which is not really good in this situation because I have clan as well. And I also have ranger, so that's very good and I win. Alright, we're gonna get goblin machine right now. That's what I wanted. We're gonna have this. Buy this. And that's pretty much all we can get for now. So really on a good track. I just need to get Skeleton King to max out Juggernaut. And yeah, that's basically my set. And then I just have to keep leveling everything up. I just have to remember which one has the assassin, and I'll have to place my shit in the backside then. Oh my god, he's the annoying one. He has fucking... Oh, but I have Juggernaut, so they don't get stunned. Oh no, they do get stunned. I still win because of the goblin. Easy. But we're gonna have Barb for now. As a replacement for... Okay, it's giving clan, which is good, I guess. So we're gonna keep him for now. Hopefully we won't die and lose. He already has 3-star bandit. He's the one that has assassin. Yeah, we lost. The one that deals the most damage is already dead, so... Yeah. This is just sad to see. Do you like women? Yeah. Okay. Boom. 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 Sell everything we don't need. Boom. 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 We're gonna have a replacement right now. Playing a Clash Royale game and lost. I'm garbage. Everyone is bad in the beginning. Alright, yeah, we just lost easily. Well, GG's. Alright, let's play normal Clash and then I'll be right back. What? Excuse me? Okay, the start is really bad. Cause like what the fuck? He has a Phoenix? And what does this do? I'm not gonna push, I'm defending right now. He's gonna put a scar me somewhere. Yep. I could start pressuring him right now as well. Yeah. Like, dude, I knew that he's gonna place a fucking a goblin barrel in my tower, so I just put a Tesla there, which just misplaced my Tesla for him allowing to. When do you even get a Phoenix? Like, what? When do you get a Phoenix? Oh. That's way later. You're overcommitting on defense a lot? What do you think about Donald Trump tariffs on China? I don't care about that at all. Okay, I just allowed him to have free easy damage. There's a time where you spend 9 elixir defending a knight and a skarmy, but an elixir spirit and berserk would have defended it well. Oh. John Jones! This reminds me of this. I like watching this guy, this German guy, this German guy make random fucking decks. And like, you don't understand at all what he says, but it's just so funny.
Links McGregor, Digga. Wir brauchen schnell unseren McGregor, Digga. Komm mal, wir kennen ihn alle, Digga. Der Typ ist bekannt, Digga. Jeder kennt ihn. Wir zünden ihn auf direkt, Digga. Guten Schau.
Oh, you can't even see.
Der wird verhauen, Digga. Sehr schön, Digga. Wir haben jetzt schau mal, wie wir haben, Digga. Der Typ, Digga. Wir haben ihn. Junge, er spielt Lana. Wir machen Habib wieder rein, Digga. Und jetzt machen wir wieder Hamza in die Pocket, Digga. Wir haben unten schon Dana, Digga. Wenn ihr sehen könnt, haben wir unten Dana. Wir haben Dana. Wir haben auch noch Nida dabei, Digga. Dieser alte, ihr wisst, Digga. Habib macht gut. Noch eine. Sehr schön. Habib ist am Kochen, Digga. Super gemacht, Kerlchen, Digga.
I mean, I can somewhat understand because I learned a little bit of German, so. Diaz, Bruder! Okay, I'm just watching this and his opponent is so ass. Igor! Oh yeah, Trent wins.
Twins on the bridge. Aggressiv, Freunde. Es spielt Geldmaschine. Wir machen Eiszeit drauf, Digga. Sehr schön. Und Tränen da, Tränen drauf, Digga. Tränen auf.
Tren! Rage is Tren!
Scheiße. Gib ihm. Halber Tower ist weg, Digga. Halber Tower ist weg. Nach 30 Sekunden, Digga. Ich hab den Pfanne, chinesische Feinkos. Wir machen kleine Buben rein, Digga. Ich hab den Typ zusammen. Ey, wir machen die nächsten rein, Digga. Trent Twins. In die Mitte, Digga. In die Mitte rein da, Digga. Und jetzt gehen die Jungs noch nach links, Digga. Sehr schnell. Er muss jetzt noch was placen für den einen. Die kleinen Jungs, Digga. So, das zwei. Obwohl doch nicht, Digga. Wir machen Eiszeit drauf, Digga. Eiszeit drauf. Oh mein Gott. Oh, meine Geldmaschine ist still. Scheiße, sein Tower hat 200 Leben. Noch eine Minute, Digga.
Hello, Corgi, man. He loves saying Diga because it means bro in German. So every single time he says Diga, it means bro. What is the Trent twins? It's just two twin brothers that go to the gym. And it's not a theory, they're very open about it. They use Tren. That's why they're called Trent twins, because they both go to the same gym, they both work out all the time, and they both use Tren. That's basically all. Literally, just search up Tren twins. There they are. These are the Trent twins. They're twins who work out, and they're very open about using Tren. One bad thing about them is because obviously Tren makes you aggressive, so they are extremely aggressive. More like this guy is extremely aggressive. This guy is kind of chill. He's like I didn't see him crash out or like say any bad stuff. This guy on the other hand, this twin, brother, brother. Like here. I mean,
like you're a skinny bastard. I catch you on the fucking street. It doesn't matter what kind of fucking fighting technique you know. You fucking choose.
and they just also think. I mean, at least this guy. He thinks he's the shit, just because he is heavier than you and he weighs more than you. Like no, he's heavier than you and he can like lift heavier stuff than you. And in that one, he said like, I don't care what fighting technique you know, I'm just gonna take a bottle and choke slam you. Like, okay, good luck with like anyone who actually knows any fighting technique, aggressive fighting technique. Because if he goes goes up against a guy who knows karate or like fucking kung fu or type shit, like no, kung fu is fine. Like judo or karate, obviously he's winning because both of those are like for defense, but more like involves in like fighting someone your weight or like also directing the one who's attacking you attacks. And when someone is that massive and just like attacking you with like like a gorilla, obviously you can't fucking defend that. But taekwondo and kung fu and like even fucking jiu-jitsu and Brazilian jiu-jitsu, obviously this guy is fucking losing. I guess Trent wins, like... Yeah, Trent wins versus MMA fighter. Yeah, this is the MMA fighter, this is the Trent win. His whole thing is just holding him. The Trent wins guy, he's just holding him, that's it. While the MMA fighter is actually doing something. The Trent win is just, he's just trying to like throw him around, but it's kind of impossible. Wrestling is almost pure strength. It's a little technique, but if you know some basic moves and it is way stronger than your opponent, you'll win. Okay, yeah, that's also true. Wrestling is just pure strength, and if someone is heavier than you, then they're gonna win. Like the Trent twin is obviously heavier and stronger than him, so obviously the Trent twin is gonna win him because of this thing right here, because he basically landed him on his neck, so he should be kind of paralyzed almost. But then at this moment right here, if they're gonna keep on the floor, the MMA fighter is gonna win because he can easily find a way to choke him, and that's all. That's how the fight will end. Yeah, wait, the MMA fighter doesn't have a clue what he's doing. Okay, let's look at this point right here. What? Huh? Okay, what the fuck was that I just saw? Like, what was he trying to do? He was obviously away from his legs. He couldn't reach them at all, so...
That was quick. Yeah. He wants it.
He's away from his legs. What is he trying to do? Okay, yeah, this guy doesn't know what he's doing. Well, that wasn't the UFC, that was the bodybuilder. But then, yeah, he finds a way how to... This is not really a choke, it's more of holding him, but it's also simultaneously a choke because this is holding his neck, this is holding his arm. Still.
Level 1.
If that would happen, I would just kick him in the nuts with all the power I have. Well, the thing is, if you can even hit him in the nuts. Why is this message still here? I deleted him even. Hello? Okay, it's gone. Alright, let me find a video to put in the background. I'm obviously gonna watch these two because I'm kind of interested by them. Top 10 useless evolutions to avoid ASAP. Okay, hold on. I wanna see that real quickly. Always when I get into a fight, I just kick them in the nuts as hard as I can. Well, that is a dick move from yourself, and also just showing that obviously, like, probably you can't fight, or you can, but I don't know. And if you just your whole optimal thing is to kick them in the nuts, it's just like it's not really gonna do anything. It will stun them, and I can go from my experience. I've been kicked in the nuts, and like it is painful, but like okay, yeah, I couldn't like fight it, but that's because like you can call timeouts there. But if in a real situation got kicked in the nuts, I'd still be in pain, but then I'd just like it probably would just make me angry, and I would just
Have you
fucking
spent
kill you
weeks
actually.
grinding Evo shards only to buy an Evo that completely ruined your deck? Yeah, this happens to almost everyone. You think
Bro, why not when it's a fight that's gonna be scrappy? Okay, fine. In a street fight, there are no rules, so you can do whatever you want. But still, like, that's an unwritten rule. If like your whole optimal thing is just kick them in the nuts, it's just like it's not even a fight. It's just you kicking them in the nuts and then just watching them roll around the ground.
you're unlocking
It's just
a
a
game
dick
changer,
move.
but what you actually got was a pay-to-lose Evo. 99% of players fall into this exact same trap. They see flashy animations, read new ability, and instantly hit buy. But not all Evos are worth it, and worst Eta and actual skeletons Evo. Evo skeletons sound like the ultimate one-elixir dream. Infinite swarms, endless pressure, and the potential to delete towers if ignored. But the reality
No, it's really easy to counter the Larry.
it's the definition of overhype. After the recent spawn count nerf, the Evo skeletons only start with 3 and can get up to 8 if they stay alive long enough to hit. But keep in mind, the key phrase is if they stay alive. The problem is they rarely ever do. Zap, log, and the snowball wipe them out instantly, and any splash card like the Valve, Baby Dragon, Executioner, or even the Wizard completely erases the chain before lapses. Games die, the Evos, they just cannot. The regular skeletons are risk and no to dominate defense. Number 9, we got the Tesla Evo. This is the card everyone expects to dominate defenses, but right now it's just being overshadowed by almost every other defensive building in the game. According to Royal API, Tesla, both the normal and the Evo version sits around 6% usage rate, mostly dominant at the Inferno lower tower, destroying the Mega Knight 3 elixir in Evo. The Cannon. Meanwhile, look number 2 for people got the Inferno lower top end scene right now. Number 1, the Cannon. The Javelin Evos feel like most people prefer, unless you're a hard tower in the Evo Cannon, which hog player, you'll spend shards here, but most people overheal the Fire Spirit, Snow runs the baby. This season, Evo gets deleted by Sane, right? Under your attack can. Coming in at number 8, we got the Evo Bats. They pretty much heal after every attack, can overheal to double HP, and cost only 2 elixir. It sounds insane, right? Until you actually see what happens in real matches. But all that potential that it's Evo Bat full damn fancy dust. Coming in at number 7, we got the Bomber Evo. The Bomber Evo used to be terrifying, a 2 elixir card that could splash towers from range, but that era ended with just one update, the range nerf. The Bomber's Evo sold that 2-star Goblin, super not versatile. For cheaper, you're better off running Fire Spirit, Skeletons, or the Uvan. Make sure to like the video. Coming in at number 6, we got the Barbs Evo. 5 Evo Barbs charging at the bridge looks menacing, right? Until you remember that every deck in the game runs a Fireball or a Splash card. His buff gives him a 10% HP boost and a 35% attack speed for 3 seconds after engaging. According to Royal, defensive 2 heavy Evo Barb pushes, but in reality, she's one of the most inconsistent and frustrating Evos to use right now. The Evo Fire, but in reality, amazing. Faster reload. And at number 5, we got the Firecracker Evo. On paper, she looks amazing. Faster reload, bigger splash radius, and a burst that should clear entire pushes. But in reality, she's one of the most inconsistent and frustrating fire bigger, better card broken. Coming in at number 4, we got the Hunter Evo. The Hunter Evo might be one of the biggest disappointments of 2025. On paper, he's a defensive beast. Every 5 seconds, he throws a net that freezes a target for 3 seconds. But in reality, he's clunky, slowly, and badly overshadowed. Royale APS shows around a 1% while much roots and scope per unit that just does not keep up with the shield blocks 1 lead right now. Coming in at number 3, we got the Wizard Evo. The Wizard Evo looked like it would finally make the Wizard relevant again, but it's just a mid-ladder trap. His fire shield blocks 1 lethal hit and then explodes for pushback and a small area damage. Sounds flashy until cheap cards like the Logger Zap instantly remove the shield before it even detonates. Royale APL lists him around 5% usage rate, average, faster cycle. 2, we got the Ice Spirit Evo. The Evo Ice Spirit adds a cool mechanic. After it freezes, it triggers a second delayed freeze 3 seconds later in the exact same area. It's a clever concept, but almost useless in competitive play. Royale APS shows it sitting below 1% usage rate, only used in a handful of fast cycle decks, making it super niche and not versatile with other decks. It's still one of the cards that's Evo in Clash Royale right now. It's the Evo Goblin Drill.
What's the point of Evil Goblin Drill, man?
Royale APS shows around 0 to 1% usage rate, and for a good reason. The Evo makes the drill spawns predictable, and everyone knows how to counter it as well. The meta is filled with its biggest counters: the Bowler, Valkyrie, Executioner, Baby Dragon, and simple spell combos like the Logger Snowball. And because every meta...
Alright, I know which one's not too evil. And sadly, I already put fucking evil shards in my skeleton. Skeletons did fall off a bit, but they're still really good in cycle decks. Tesla is low-key ass. Bats are ass too. Bomber fell off mad. Man, I wish I had 75k points so I can face rail you. The rubs only work in Lava Hound deck that has no other cards. Wizard Evo is straight ass, and it's still the best thing about Wizard. Ice Spirit is still so fucking good. What the fuck? Evo Goblin Drill is so bad. Chat, does Arian have aura? No. When you gonna 1v1 me? I won't. Okay, fine. Okay, now I have to find a video to put in the background. Okay, I'll put this in the background as well, because I kind of want to learn. There's so many videos I want to watch. What the fuck? Alright, I need to find the video to put in the background while I'm gone. Dude, what the fuck? There's so many good videos I would like to watch. Alright, let me close this and just open another YouTube. Keep this one open because I'll 100% watch this one, this one, this one. Let's hope we get... I guess we can put this in the background.
Clash Royale has well over 100 cards with new ones still being added. And once a card is added, it's there forever. You can nerf it into oblivion to the point where it's unusable, or even transform it into something completely different from what it once was, but a complete removal does not happen. Supercell has said in the past that they will not remove cards because players get attached to cards, and it would be upsetting if you suddenly couldn't play a card you liked to play. They've certainly added some cards that are commonly looked back upon as mistakes, so Supercell has to be careful to ensure that every new card adds something unique and healthy to the game. This can be limiting though, and make Supercell hesitate from implementing weird game mechanics. So in 2022, they started experimenting with temporary cards. Cards they knew from the beginning would only be in the game for a limited time, and they would only be available in specially designed challenges. So now Supercell could play around with new mechanics and not have to worry about the card being balanced or healthy. They've added over a dozen temporary cards throughout the last few years, and since many of them go months or even years without being playable, I wanted to make a video going over each and every one, talk about their unique mechanics and how they affected the game. I will only be talking about physical cards that appear in your deck, so things like the Mega Monk or Elixir Barrels will not be talked about in this video. So I know I said 2022 was when Supercell first started adding temporary cards, and depending on what you consider a temporary card, that's still true. But some may consider the first, or should I say first two temporary cards to be added in December 2018. To promote Supercell's new game Brawl Stars, Clash Royale added a game mode inspired by that game called Heist. This would be a draft mode where one player would get to choose between two new cards, which were characters taken from that game. You had to pick between Bo or Shelly, and whichever one you didn't pick was given to your opponent. And they looked awesome in game. Players were pretty excited to see characters from a different game in Clash Royale, until it was realized that they were just clones of already existing cards. Bo was a reskinned Magic Archer, and Shelly was a reskinned Hunter, so they didn't add any new mechanic or way to play. It was just the card art and model. So it's a stretch to even call these temporary cards. It was more so just skins. The Heist mode has come back a few times since then, and you can still play it today in friendly battles, but the Bo and Shelly models were never included again, as they completely disappeared after December 2018. In February 2022, Clash Royale would finally start implementing Super Troops inspired from Clash of Clans. Super Troops would be based on already existing troops, but given stat bonuses and/or special abilities, with the catch being that they cost one more elixir than the card they were based off of. The first super card would be based on Lava Hound, and to be honest, this was probably the lamest one. Super Lava Hound didn't really have any special ability. The main thing it had was an additional layer, but the Hound in its first stage had less hit points than the regular Lava Hound, and remember, this was one more elixir. However, rather than breaking into pups, it broke into two tiny weaker Lava Hounds, which each broke into 4 lava pups. It also had death damage, but it didn't do much. It was very easy to avoid. Despite the extra cost, it was a strong card, but it didn't really feel like it changed the game much. You just played it exactly like a normal Lava Hound. Just because it was slightly different and a bit stronger didn't mean it added something fun and unique. As long as you brought Inferno, you were good for this challenge. Up next, we got the Super Witch, who made her first appearance in May 2022 as a 6 elixir troop. This card combines the abilities of all 3 witches. It would alternate in summoning waves of skeletons and bats every 5 seconds. She had barely more health than what a lightning dealt, so she certainly wasn't fragile, but Rocket took her out just fine for an equal trade. So for this challenge, as long as you brought Rocket, you wouldn't really have to worry about her. I feel like when a card that's supposed to be the focus of the challenge can be taken out for an equal trade by a spell that can't be countered, it kinda takes away from the fun. Since she had the Mother Witch's curse effect, her attack was single target instead of splash, and she technically dealt less damage per shot than a normal witch while also having the same hit speed and range for 1 more elixir. So like the Super Lava Hound, it was a bit underwhelming. You basically played her as a normal witch. She was still pretty strong thanks to her high hit points, and normal witch had been unplayable for years in her current state, so in a way it felt like it was a way for players to enjoy Clash Royale as normal with a competitively viable witch. Honestly, I think it would have been cool to combine the curse effect with splash damage, and maybe integrate the Night Witch's melee attack, meaning that if a ground troop got too close, she would pull out her staff and go from range to melee. It really would have made her feel like she was a combination of all 3 witches rather than being a standard witch with a little makeup. Next up, we move to July 2022, where we got our 3rd super card, and this one was probably the most OP thing Supercell ever added to Clash Royale. This super variant was of the Mini P.E.K.K.A, and stat-wise, it was pretty similar to the original, but cost 5 elixir, with the main distinction being that it dealt over 120,000 damage per swing. Just for some perspective, the most health anything can have in the game today is a level 16 golem with 8,192 hit points, so this troop would easily one-shot anything. But why 120k? Why not 10k? That's sort of a random number. Well, at level 9, he deals 99999 damage per shot, and since tournament standard is level 11, it's scaled up about 10% for each level. It's weird though because this card was only ever playable at level 11 tournament standard, so having stats for other levels was completely pointless. It's not just Super Mini P.E.K.K.A either. Every temporary card has stats for all levels just like normal cards, but this case made it obvious. I wonder why they didn't just make the level 11 Super Mini P.E.K.K.A deal 99999 damage per shot, since that looks more crazy than this arbitrary number. Now, if this was all, you could just use Skeleton Army, Tombstone, or Guards to pretty much shut it down. But he would also passively spawn pancakes, and they would also occasionally be summoned all over the arena, which would heal him. So he was a nightmare to take out. One slip up and he can 3-crown in seconds. Big tanks were obviously completely unviable for this challenge. How do you play offense when your opponent has a card that can one-shot anything? This challenge boiled down to supporting your Mini P.E.K.K.A and getting him to the tower at all costs. It was a very satisfying card to play and exactly the type of craziness Supercell should play around with when designing temporary cards. It wouldn't be long until we got another temporary card. The month following the Super Mini P.E.K.K.A challenge, we got the Barbarian Launcher, and this technically wasn't considered to be a super card, but it was heavily based on the Mortar. They looked similar and had similar functions, but it cost 1 more elixir, had the same hit points, deploy time, range, projectile speed, and splash radius, and it only dealt 2 damage per hit. The 2 major advantages it had made up for it though. Like the name implies, it was firing barbarians, so this wasn't just 1 burst of damage per hit. You got an actual troop that had to be responded to. And it also shot every 3 seconds instead of every 5 seconds, so these barbarians added up quick. When using it against a non-building targeting troop on defense, it could pretty much prevent it from moving. This card was actually a scrapped idea from years ago, a card likely scrapped for balancing reasons. But since it didn't have to be permanent now, it was given a chance to shine in the arena all these years later. I gotta say, this card was probably the funnest one yet. It wasn't boring or absurdly broken, and it actually stood out and felt unique. With a little adjusting, I think it could have been a relatively healthy, balanced card. A lot of players were fans of the card, so Supercell actually brought it back in the Mega Deck Challenge in October 2022. Funny enough, the Mortar's health was actually decreased just before this challenge, and even though the health was originally tied to Mortar, it didn't receive the nerf, so now their health totals were inconsistent. I think this card actually made the challenge way more fun. It really didn't feel broken at all. It was interesting to see a temporary card make an appearance in a challenge not based around it. I would love to see Supercell bring this card back in other challenges one day, or just make it the Barbarian HUD evolution. Now we're moving to December 2022, where we would get the Santa Hog Rider. A Hog Rider that costs 1 more elixir, has slightly less health than a Hog Rider, but does slightly more damage due to a rounding error since it's technically classified as a legendary, and shares all the other stats exactly, but with the very important difference being that it passively dropped a present every 3 seconds. And when any troop ran into the present, it would summon a random spell. Rage was pretty standard. Clone was interesting because if you cloned the Santa Hog Rider, the cloned version would start dropping presents, which could lead to more clones, and this could quickly lead to the opponent being overwhelmed. It could also be a heal spell, which was interesting because the heal spell was transformed into the Heal Spirit over 2 years before this challenge. And finally, there was the invisibility spell, which turned your troops invisible. That was probably the most interesting of all, considering Clash Royale didn't have an invisibility spell and never did. The spell that was dropped was completely random, so the Santa Hog Rider was one of the very few cards that had an element of RNG in it. This game has prided itself on being very competitive, which is why most cards don't have this element, and for the ones that do, it's very minimal. RNG elements can make you lose at fault of the game rather than your own, so it's clear why competitive players tend to dislike them. But because this card was temporary and this was just a silly challenge, Supercell was free to have an RNG card in the game and not have it be an issue. Next month, keeping up with the winter theme, we got the Super Ice Golem. This super card was probably the most different from its original form than any other super card. First of all, this card was 4 elixir, which meant it was the only super card to cost 2 more than its original form instead of 1, and it had less death damage than a regular Ice Golem. And if that wasn't bad enough, Supercell created a whole new category of movement speed that was exclusive to this card labeled Very Slow. The previous slowest cards in the game moved at 3/4 of a tile per second, but the Super Ice Golem would travel at half a tile per second. So basically, if you placed it right at the bridge, it would take about 18 seconds to reach the tower if uninterrupted. On the plus side, it had more than triple the hit points of the regular one, about what a giant skeleton has today. Its Frost Nova also covered the entire arena and would freeze troops instead of just slowing them down. This would last for 4 seconds, the same as a normal freeze spell. It wasn't really that fun to play though. It moved so slow that the extra health didn't mean much. As long as you brought high damage dealers, you would have no issue against it. Next month, we got the Super Magic Archer, who cost 5 elixir and only dealt 1 damage per shot and had a much lower hit speed and first hit attack time. However, he had enough hit points to survive a fireball, and when an opposing card was hit with his shot, it would temporarily become a friendly troop, which essentially made opposing troops unable to approach him. This was actually an outrolled mechanic a few years prior, and I can understand why they wouldn't want to add a permanent card with this ability. Super Magic Archer would also convert the opposing Princess Towers to friendly Princess Towers, which was weird because then your troops wouldn't be able to take them down since they were on the same team. The only thing that was completely immune was the King Tower. When there were multiple Super Magic Archers on the field and a bunch of troops, it could get so confusing when trying to figure out what troops belonged to what team, and it was amazing. I honestly feel like this was the best temporary card they ever added. The amount of crazy interactions you saw when playing this challenge was unprecedented. My only hope is that one day we get to play this card in a 7x elixir challenge with evolutions and troops spawning in the back. In March 2023, we would get 2 temporary cards, but neither of them were considered super cards. Both of these were Goblin related, which went along with the Goblin anniversary theme. The first one we got was the Party Hut, which wasn't really based on any one existing card. It had the model of a Goblin hut, but functioned more like an Expo, Goblin Cage, and Dark Goblin combined. It had the same range as an Expo, but a slightly faster deploy time. It had the same damage and hit speed of a Dark Goblin, the same hit points as a Goblin Hut, and the same lifetime as a Goblin Cage. And when it was taken out, it would leave behind a Goblin Brawler along with 3 Goblins and 3 Spear Goblins. It was an excellent all-around building, whether it was for defense or as a siege building. It was mostly played like an Expo. For 1 less elixir, a faster deploy time, and dealing about the same damage per second as an Expo, it was easily the best win condition. It could even target air, which the Expo couldn't do. It was really neat because it didn't just feel like a stronger version of an already existing card. Having the attributes of multiple unrelated cards into one was pretty cool. I believe this one was much better than the one we got later, the Party Rocket. The Party Rocket was similar to a normal rocket, but it cost 1 less elixir and had a radius twice as big. And it would take out any trooper building, turning it into a goblin. And here's the real interesting part. It would convert enemy and friendly troops. Every other spell's ability in Clash Royale has only affected one side, so this was huge. To prevent people from just automatically hurling the spell at the King Tower, it was made to deal no damage to towers. I'm honestly a bit torn on the Party Rocket. Spending 5 elixir for any amount of goblins was kind of a ripoff since cheap spells could take out as many as you needed for a huge positive elixir trade, which forced you to be strategic as when to use it, not just spam it like other super cards. But on the other hand, since it one-shot anything, it vastly limited the number of viable cards in this challenge and heavily restricted the moves you could make. This whole challenge made me feel like I was walking on eggshells, but I don't think it was worse than something like Super Witch or Super Lava Hound. The Goblin Party Rocket challenge would come back 1 year later during the next anniversary season, and the Goblin Party Hut would return as recently as June 2024 in time for the Goblin's Gambit. It's nice to see them return once in a while because most of these temporary cards don't make reappearances. April 2023 saw the addition of the Super Archers, and this one was crazy. Unlike every other super card, there was no price increase. This one cost 3 elixir just like normal archers and had more than double the hit points, so even Fireball couldn't take them out. Also, their attack was splash instead of single target, plus it would push back troops like a tornado would. The pushback was so powerful that pretty much no troop could get close enough to attack them, especially since the archers recoiled with each attack just like a firecracker. So many cards were not viable against these menaces, which resulted in almost every super archers deck looking the same. I honestly have no idea why they didn't just make this card 4 elixir when every other super card raised their cost, and they already couldn't add a fireball. Now, this wasn't the end of it, because later in the month they did another challenge involving super archers, which was the same, except now golems would periodically spawn in the back. The super archers could easily keep the golems back, but it would get so chaotic because the golems spawned so fast. It was chaos. This challenge wasn't quite as fun as it sounds due to lack of diversity, but I personally enjoyed it, and it makes me sad they didn't put other super cards into other types of challenges like this. Supercell was not done with super archers yet though, because the following month we would see them return again in the Super Draft Challenge. This challenge was a huge deal because it was the first time different super cards could go against each other. It was structured like a triple draft game, where you would get to pick one of 3 and your opponent would select from a different set of 3. This was great in concept, but this challenge exposed the fact that even though all super cards were undoubtedly stronger than regular cards, they weren't balanced to each other. Only these 3 super cards were even remotely viable. If you somehow couldn't get any of those 3, your only hope was to pray for your opponent's Wi-Fi to give out. The win rates of each super card from this challenge exemplified this heavy distinction. But nonetheless, it was fun to be able to play with different super cards again and see them interact. It would be cool if they could give them balance changes to make challenges like this more diverse and interesting, but I doubt Supercell would go that extra mile for temporary cards. These 6 super cards were all part of it. No Party Hut or Rocket or Barbarian Launcher, as they weren't really considered super cards, but that doesn't explain why the Super Witch was not included in this challenge. We still don't really know to this day why the Super Witch was excluded from Super Draft. My theory is they literally just forgot. But I guess Supercell felt bad for leaving her out because a few months later in July 2023, they brought back the Super Witch Challenge, which they didn't do for any other super card. However, once that challenge ended, it would be over a year before we'd see any of them again. Super Drafts would appear for a second time in August 2024, not only finally including the Super Witch, but also the Barbarian Launcher, Party Rocket, and Party Hut. I liked this one better because it felt like there were more viable options and variety. It's a shame we didn't get any new super cards between the 2 times this challenge appeared. It was probably due to the inclusion of evolutions in June 2023. Evolutions were essentially stronger versions of already existing cards with new abilities, which is pretty much what super cards are, so it's safe to assume they were replaced. But just because super cards were over doesn't mean Supercell would stop creating new temporary cards to spice up challenges. Backing up a bit, we did get another new temporary card in May 2023. The 6th month in a row we'd get a new temporary card, but the streak would end after this. This card was called Terry, who was a hog rider. It cost the same as a normal hog, but had way more health and did about the same damage as a normal +1 level hog. But it had a special ability like a champion that you could choose when to use, and it cost 1 elixir to activate. This made it jump high in the air, dealing a big burst of damage when it hit the ground, sort of like a Mega Knight. Just from a pure gameplay point of view, this card didn't really add anything special. It was pretty much only made to promote the Books of Clash series. Terry was just a slightly stronger hog rider with a novel ability. Not much else to say. So that was it for a while. After 6 straight months of a new temporary card every season, we went 6 months with no new temporary cards whatsoever. Evolutions were likely the reason why, but we did get one more temporary card in December 2023. This would be a new spell called Warmth, which would cost 1 elixir. This was all part of a new winter-themed challenge where your cards would freeze on the map 10 seconds after being placed. The Warmth spell would unfreeze your frozen troops, allowing them to function as normal, no longer having to be worried about being frozen again. So a card like this would be completely useless in normal play. It only worked in this special environment. But one thing some people may not know is that this card actually healed troops too. The heal spell was removed by this point, as I stated, but this warmth spell was the same cost as the former spell and had the same radius. However, it did heal less than the actual heal spell, so it wasn't just a straight up reskin. I gotta say though, the Snowstorm challenge was one of my favorite challenges ever. This environment with this 1 elixir spell just gave so much freedom in controlling your pushes. You could stack way more troops together than you could in a normal match, and it was so fun to play around with. This, in my opinion, is the best utilization of a temporary card. It wasn't just a challenge centered around countering something overpowered. It changed the rules of the game in a fair and balanced way that was fun and different. From here, it would be another 5 months before we saw another temporary card. This time we would get the Wizard Trio, another card concept that was actually outruled many years back. For 7 elixir, you got an Ice Wizard, Wizard, and Electro Wizard, and to make it even stronger, several of the bigger spells were banned from this challenge. There was still plenty of counterplay with Monk and Poison, but it was still very threatening. One of the most interesting things that I found with this card was that it deployed instantly. Every card in Clash Royale will only begin to move at least 1 second after being placed, but with this trio, they went to work immediately. Something I hope they never apply to Three Musketeers. The weird part was that even though they were all part of the Wizard class, they didn't synergize well with each other. Like, why would you need to slow down and stun troops at the same time? And the Electro Wizard also moves faster than the other 2 wizards, but nevertheless, still a cool temporary card and challenge. This card made one more appearance in the Super Draft Challenge in August 2024, which I didn't mention earlier because I wanted to talk about these cards in order of release. And finally, the most recent temporary card, which came only 2 months after the Wizard Trio, the Rocket Silo. A 7 elixir building with more hit points than an Expo that did nothing but wait for about 13 seconds, then launched right at the King Tower, dealing more damage than a rocket. It didn't even have a Crown Tower reduction, so it dealt more than quadruple what a rocket deals to Crown Towers. This meant with just 3 of these plus a small spell, you would 3 crown your opponent. And you could only place the card in a very small specific area on your side of the map. So really this whole challenge was cycling to this card as quickly as possible and doing nothing else. You could theoretically take out the Rocket Silo if you did it quickly, but it was really hard to do. The only viable counterplay seems to be with the Monk. You could use the Monk's ability to stop the Silo. It weirdly wouldn't reflect it, rather just get rid of it. Possibly this could be because the Monk reflects spells to the Princess Towers, but the Silo is supposed to target King Towers, so the game gets confused. Or maybe Supercell didn't want the Monk to be too overpowered in the challenge, so they did it on purpose. I unfortunately wasn't able to find out if the Monk could reflect it if both Princess Towers were down, which would answer that question. You could stop the Monk if you were quick with a Tornado or Freeze, but that was really the extent of the counterplay. I have no idea what the thought process was behind the design of this challenge or how it was intended to be played. Most people hated this challenge, and I gotta say, this definitely wasn't my favorite. Anyway, that covers all the temporary cards in Clash Royale history all the way through August 2024. A really cool feature that has led to some really fun challenges. It's good to see temporary cards sometimes, as I think they do serve a unique function Evolutions can't, which I assume is the reason we stopped getting super cards. It's likely that the team had been working on Evolutions long before they were added, and super cards were some of the scrapped Evolution concepts, like how the Barbarian Launcher and Wizard Trio were scrapped card concepts. And perhaps they don't want to confuse players by adding more super cards today, since casual players may just confuse them for Evolutions. I do miss them though, because they were just crazy fun. Supercell didn't have to balance them with the idea that they were going to be playable in normal matches, so it gave them more freedom. Even though we did see a bunch of temporary cards return in Super Draft, there were a few missing that we haven't seen since they debuted. Hopefully Supercell will implement temporary cards into the game again, whether it's bringing back certain challenges or designing new creative environments for them. There's so much potential, and I feel like it's underutilized. Like, come on Supercell, get creative with the content you already made. Give us 3 super cards in Mega Deck, 7 times Elixir Super Touchdown, or Barbarian Launcher versus Party Hut Dark Elixir Super Monk Ramp Up Draft. There's so much potential for new fun game modes just from remixing content they already made. I may be asking for a bit much, because these cards are really just meant to be a 15-minute distraction from the normal game. I mean, most of the models are just ripped from other cards and flashing pink. But let me know what you think. What temporary card is your favorite and why, and what other challenges could Supercell design around them? Thank you all for listening, and I'll catch you later. There are a lot of legendary cards in Clash Royale. Being the highest rarity in Clash Royale for the majority of the game's history, there was something special about this rarity. Getting even one card from this rarity used to be a momentous occasion. But why should we care so much about this rarity compared to the other rarities? To make legendary cards extra exciting, any card in this rarity would be given a unique special ability to shake up the gameplay in ways other cards in other rarities didn't. On top of this, legendary cards would generally just be a little better on average than other rarities in the game, always having use and win rates a healthy card would need. This meant they were usually safe cards to upgrade, as they wouldn't be killed and left to be dead like other certain cards. However, one day a legendary card would be added to Clash Royale that would break both of these rules. A card that had no unique ability and would be left practically dead for years in a row during her lifetime. A card that would get treatment like no other legendary card ever has. You probably even forgot about her until you saw the October loading screen. So why was this specific legendary not given a special ability? Why did they keep this legendary in such a weak spot for so long? How did she get to where she is now? Today, I will be answering all of these questions and taking a deep dive into the history of Clash Royale's Night Witch. So where did the name Night Witch even come from? Why not Dark Witch? You already had a Dark Prince. Night just feels unusual and out of place. We need to look at Clash Royale's sister game, Clash of Clans, to answer this question. Now, the Night Witch was technically added to Clash Royale first, only weeks before being added to Clash of Clans. The reason I bring up Clash of Clans is because her being called the Night Witch makes a lot more sense when you see what was happening in this game. Clash of Clans had just gotten a major update before the Night Witch was added to Clash Royale that would add the Builder Base, which was an alternative game mode in Clash of Clans that added unique defenses and variations of troops from the main village. One troop in Clash of Clans was the Witch, and since most troops were getting a variation in the new base, the Witch would get one as well, and thus came the Night Witch. The word night likely came from the Builder.
An idea just hit my head to make a TikTok video, and it will 100% it will bomb. I know it will, it has to. I like how I come back and I just read that for the auto mod. Bomb o'clock. Alright, let's play a little bit more of Clash, and then I'll end the stream and make the video that I want to make for TikTok. Ah, misprediction. Yeah, I can't really do anything, dude. I already lost. Probably wasn't a good idea to come back and immediately start playing this. Yeah, what are these two games? I start and immediately they just put like the most broken shit ever and already just destroy one of my towers. Here, I'll end the stream as well now. Thank you guys for watching. I hope you enjoyed. Stay cool, stay chill, and I'll see you next time.